Welcome back to Justin's Custom, guys. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to paint match your Ford emblems and your F350 badges. So let's get into it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Today, we're going to be doing some paint match on some F350 stuff. So, if you guys don't know me, my name's Justin. If you can't tell, Justin's Customs. I restore old Broncos, do a bunch of paint work. There's my 87 behind me. We got 95 over there and 82 creeping over there. But we're not going to talk about those. If you want to check out the channel, if you're new here, go check out my videos. Got all kinds of Bronco stuff. But today, we're talking about all this stuff. So, I've got quite a bit of plastic stuff I have to paint for a customer of mine. All this stuff is going to be ruby red. So we got paint match tow mirrors, paint match fog lights, bumper pieces, valance. In case you're wondering, these things are not broke, but they don't extend out all the way. So they're going to paint it like that. But enough of that. On to the main course of the video. I'm going to be showing you guys how to pull these things apart. And honestly, it's probably a lot easier than you think it is. So we're going to turn these things upside down. All of them. And these ones are actually going to be the easiest ones to do. So every little chrome tab here, you can see there's a little lip. You just kind of push back and away from you until literally all of those are out, and then it separates. This one's actually pretty simple to do. The Ford emblem, on the other hand, is a little bit more involved. Every single one of those blue dots is a plastic rivet, and you have to drill every single one of them out. So literally, guys, all you're going to need here is a drill with a small bit and a bigger bit, because the ones on the outside is actually the ring. So this comes off in 3 separate pieces. So you have, obviously, the big part in the middle. Then you see there's a little thin blue one on the outside. And you're probably wondering what the third one is. There's literally one piece for the hole in the D and this tiny little hole in the F. All right, so got my drill, and this is a 1/4 inch bit. So all we're gonna do here is just put it in here, right in the middle, just barely go to hear it crack, and the rivet's out on the bit. You gotta do that to every single one, and you gotta make sure that it's clear of the edge. So these rivets, they bulge out over the edge that's popped out, so it can't suck through. So once it's clear and can be pushed through, you're good. So we just gotta do this to every single one. I'll say do not just pull. If it's not 100% loose, that means you got rivet, because once it's free, it can come right out. Yeah, just like that. So this holds these in place, and then this guy literally slides right out. You see this, and this is gonna come out. Boop. Very strange design. I don't quite understand it, but it works, so that's how it comes out. All right, so pretty positive we got all these rivets clear and ready to go. It's best to go one side to the other though. So just slowly, once you get an edge, you can just slowly wiggle it, and if it's caught up somewhere, you'll be able to tell. And just slowly working its way out. Just like that. There it is. All right, now we got both the middle holes out and the main section. Now we just have the blue ring on the outside. I guess I can just use the drill bit to push through, hopefully. That's exactly what's happening. Alright, I guess that's one way to do it. Push it out. Alright, looks like I only got like 2 more on this side. Alright. A little different than how I usually do it, but As you see, there we go. Every rivet is completely drilled out. We are good to go. Now we're leaving this chrome, so the floor lettering and the outer ring will be chrome, and everything blue will be ruby red. All right, for my next trick, I'm going to show you how to take the F350 badges apart. So as you see, there is all these little tabs all the way down, and it comes off in different sections. So you're gonna have this outer chrome strip, you're gonna have the F350, and the little wording in between, like the A and the R's, and then the circle here. So you have a lot of different sections here, so we're gonna start with the outer first. Don't mind my thumb, stinking cream the crap out of the dadgum thing washing my truck earlier. So as mentioned, we're gonna start on the outside and then work our way to the middle. So we're gonna go ahead and start with this one here. Just gotta get behind that tab and pry the black plastic away from it. There we go. And then as your hand's on the back, you can actually push the plastic away from the chrome, which helps. So just like that, we got a gap started. So I'm going to go ahead and actually throw a screwdriver in here to keep some pressure. But you can see we have our gap. So I just gotta do this all the way down. There we go. That was a big move. So that's the lariat lettering. Just like that, there's the outside. I'm going to do the F350 part, which is same exact thing, just all of these little tabs in the middle, and you can see these tiny little silver slivers in between. As we're prying this up, we have to actually get in here and pry these little sections in the 5 and the 3s and the F. Kind of pain in the butt, but once you get it pried up, you can get a mini screwdriver in there and just pry it away. Let's begin. Remember, kids, if it sounds like it's breaking, that means it's coming apart. It might not be good coming apart, but it's coming apart. We're almost there, guys. There we go. And just like that, it should come out. Should. Yep, there we go. Now we have this O, and there is, focus, thank you. 2 little slivers here and here. Just gotta push out on them. It'll come right out. And it fell on the ground. Oh, no, just kidding. There it is. Boop, there's that. Focus. Hello. Here. Now all we have is this little section here, and the P, R, D, and the PERD. All you gotta do is grab a little screwdriver here, and then just pry it right in between the plastic and the chrome. Here's a light little click. Just like that, dechromed. Now we are on to the prep portion right before paint. So all you're gonna need is a red scuff pad, just a Scotch-Brite 3M brand. Now you can just scuff pad everything and that's fine, but what I personally like to do, as you can see, the F350 part is pretty textured and I don't like that. So what I do is I sand just the 350 part with 320 and 600 and then a red scuff pad. But if you really wanted to, if the texturedness didn't bother you, you can just leave it and just red Scotch-Brite it and be fine. But we will go ahead and use the 320 and 600 and smooth these letters out. All right, got that texture knocked down pretty good. Now we're going to go over it with our 600 here to smoothen out those 320 scratches. And just like that, we went from textured plastic to smooth. Now that we got the F350 parts nice and smooth, got both of them sand F320 600, Now we can take our red Scotch-Brite and just go over everything here. And you want to make sure every nook and cranny is sanded or scuffed. And you gotta make sure it's nice and dull, because if you don't get it nice and dull and it's not scuffed enough, the paint will not stick, it'll fly off, and your badges will look dumb, and you don't want that. So we're going to ensure that every inch of this thing is nice and scuffed. We are officially ready for paint, guys. We got Ford emblem, the ring, and the tiny little dots scuffed. We got the F350 sanded pretty smooth, and everything scuffed along with the lariat emblems too. So I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're getting all this stuff painted up. All right, guys, this is the next day here, and we are ready to spray all the F350 parts. You see I got all the parts behind me. The mirrors, the valance, bumper plastics, fog light bezels, all that good stuff. But right here, you see we got everything cleaned up, wiped down, ready to spray. We got everything wiped down with wax and grease remover. And all we gotta do now is use a tack cloth, make sure no little pieces of dust got mixed up as we're mixing up our paint. But we are officially ready to spray the emblems and everything else. So the very first thing you guys want to do before spraying these parts is you're going to want to spray your plastic adhesion promoter. Anytime you spray any sort of plastic or bare plastic, you got to have an adhesion promoter on there. All you need is one light wet coat, and then after a couple minutes, after it dries, you're good to go. So basic rule of thumb for me spraying like all these like little plastic parts or miscellaneous pieces for anything, I always do primer sealer, which just gives the base coat a nice even layer to lay your base coat on. Because if you lay your color over black, obviously it's going to be too dark. Plus, it'll cover up any deep scratches. So you're going to lay your primer sealer down, your color, your base coat, and then your clear coat. But I'll show you guys every step of the way, so let's get to spraying. All right, so I just got my sealer mixed up. Now, guys, even though I'm obviously doing the professional way, if you will, through the gun and everything, you can still do this just with spray cans. Because sometimes whenever I'm doing just like little tiny pieces, it's just more of a hassle. It takes more time to mix up the paint than it does to spray it. Rust-Oleum sells a little aerosol can of primer sealer. Like I said, just straight out the can. You can get it at Walmart, AutoZone, different places like that. So this, even though I'm doing this the professional way through the gun and everything, you can do all this spray paint too. Because obviously, adhesion promoter, spray paint can, Rust-Oleum sells a primer sealer. Then you can do whatever color you want spray paint, and then you can even spray paint clear if you want to. So one nice light wet coat over it all. That's literally it. Make sure you get your edges. Yeah, don't do that. Now it's time for our red base coat. Last but not least, the money maker, time for clear coat. right, guys, well, as you see, we got everything painted ruby red. Let me tell you what, this is one of my absolute favorite colors to spray. I freaking love red. Got a red Bronco, if you can't tell. I absolutely love red. And with everything being chrome, it should look dang good. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to put all these emblems back together. Now you see where we got the first one done. This thing snaps together really easy, guys. So the big skinny piece, it will go in between the P, the R, and the D. It just snaps in from the back. There we go. All right, there's that. Then after that, we can do the F350 part. It literally just snaps right in place. Make sure you press the little slots in between the 3 and the 5 down. Then the O. Make sure it's the correct way. There's that. And then on the lariat piece, there's this tiny little chrome piece that goes in between the A, the R, and the other A. It just snaps in from the rear as well, as long as it's the correct way. There we go. And that just sits in place right here. Doesn't really snap in or anything. It just kind of hangs out. And then this guy holds it in place. So just line everything up, and then it will snap in place. There we go. You'll hear it click together like that. Just like that, guys. You've got your color match emblems put back together. Those things look killer. All right, so putting the Ford emblem together is a little different. Obviously, we had to draw out all these rivets. So what I do here, some people might not like, but all you have to do is super glue or hot glue, super plastic weld them together. So here we're going to be using the JB Weld Extreme Gel. And it's better to have something with a fine tip like this, and that's a gel instead of actual like liquid glue, because it'll be runny on you. So all you got to do, so there's a lot of surface area here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the ring. We're going to do a bead in between every slot or every rivet, push it in, and then we're going to come on the back side, and where all these rivets pop through, we're going to do a little dab on each one, and it holds together. I've done a ton of these, and I have never had these come apart. So people that comment, oh, super glue your badges together, it'll come off. I've had them on previous trucks for 2 or 3 years. My dad's had them on his truck for 4 years. Not a problem. So for starters, we're going to go ahead and do a bead in between each one. You don't want too much so it doesn't come up around the edges. Just a nice thin bead where it meets the surface. All right, we are ready for the first emblem part. So there's 2 tabs here. The big one's on the bottom, the smaller one's on top. And just slowly push it in, and all the rivets spots should pop through. Just like that. We'll do it on the back side. All right, so now we got the plastic ring in. Now it's time to flip this over, and we're gonna put these pieces in. Let's slide over these tabs into the holes, just like that. So we just gotta look at where this lies, and then just put glue where all the contact points are gonna be. And for extra safety, we'll put a little bead on the edges too. And then this little plastic piece also goes here somewhere. Just gotta figure out which way it goes on. It can only go one way. We gotta figure out which way that is. Just like that. And they can also glue this down as well. Don't do the holes because that will just come through. We will do the holes after we put this in. All right, now we got that back piece on. We are going to put just a little bit where all the flat spots are. Don't need a whole lot, just a little bit here and there. So we're also doing where every hole is too, so it's not like you need a crap ton. That should be plenty to hold it in place. All right, now just line these up with all the 4 letters and snap her in place. Bam! Gosh, that looks so good. Oh, can't forget the O. Boop. There we go. Now we're gonna flip this thing over after holding this for a little bit, and then we're gonna do all the rivets. All right, so every single rivet hole is gonna get a big old gob of, whatever this is called, super glue, super gel, whatever you wanna call it. Just replacing the rivet with this glue. And between this and the stuff we put on the face of it, more than enough. I said I have done this many times and I have never had one come apart on me. Just like that, guys, we have ourselves a color match Ford emblem and F350 emblems. Well, guys, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope this helped you guys and pulling apart your Ford emblems and your F350 badges, doing some paint matching. It's a nice little touch on the truck that not a lot of other people have, and it's pretty simple to do, actually. So if you guys want some Justin's Customs merch, be sure to click the link in the description. Get yourself some tees. But if you guys are regular subscribers, let me show you what I've been up to recently, because I ain't posted anything about it since a month. I am deep in a restoration on a 1982 F-150. So I'm getting this bed finished up first. The customer ended up cutting the wheel arches out and that wanted me to do the body work, but he wasn't aware of how bad the rest of the bed was. We talked and everything, no big deal. Just got a little bit more body work than I was hoping. This is what I've been up to. So you'll be able to look forward to this. It's going to be a part 1 and part 2. Part 1's going to be getting the bed done, and then part 2 is going to be the rest of the truck. So I want to show you guys what color it is, but this truck is going to look freaking sweet when it's all done. So don't think I'm not making YouTube videos anymore. I am, guys. I've just been super busy. Got this thing, and we've been doing a lot of work on this. And something catastrophic happened to it. So stay tuned for that. But that's going to be it for today's video. Like, subscribe to Justin's Customs. We'll see y'all later.